So just driving along doing some thinking, and I'm going to cut this up into social media posts. I'm going to start making this my MO, my modus operandi, the video and my thoughts. So I just posted something on love, on the fact that you need someone else in your life. Loneliness is dangerous. It's not just hard and sad and painful. It's fucking dangerous. I use that word intentionally to wake you up. It causes aging. It causes cell degeneration. It causes people to get so dark that they can go to places where self-harm and self-destruction is an option. And we lose hundreds of thousands of people a year to suicides here in the West, in the U.S. You know, I don't know what the number is, but I think it's probably close to 1 million people now. It's nuts. You know, these backward republics like Canada who kill people with the government help now, that just murder you when you're ready to be killed. Walk in and say, oh, I'm ready to die, and they'll just off you because they would rather have you dead than on their welfare rolls. There's a sickness out there, and loneliness is its key. People by themselves. If you fill that place, you must be willing to fight for yourself. If you are not willing to fight for you, no one else can. Your family can be worried and sick and scared. They can't save you. You have to decide your worth, taking not massive life changing, because that is hard. Little tiny changes of things you do in your life, that's where the key is. Those are the spots that actual life and growth live in, is those little tiny moments where you can make one spark become a little bit of a fire and then fan that into a big flame. That's how life starts. We think we have to make these massive things. I have to be massively financially successful at 19, 20, 25, 30. I have to know everything I'm doing. I have to go to college. We spend our lives in a have-to thing. And then we spend the rest of our lives shitting on ourselves, or shooting, as Anthony Robbins call it. I should have, I should have, I should have, I could have, I should have, I would have, I wish I would have. That's such a dangerous road. Dangerous road, because when you live in regret, the future becomes dim, and then you actually lose the vision that there is an option other than where you are. That vision of where your life could be must be one where you think, okay, this is a possibility. This isn't something I should have done. This is an actual possibility. It's a massive difference between I should have and maybe I can. Maybe I can. Because one lights you up and one shuts you down. Words have meanings. Words have impact, and they mean things. Interesting thing. You know that the emotions, the momentary emotions you feel, have a 90-second window? If you're mad and you don't react to something that pisses you off, and you're just like, ugh, and wait 90 seconds to do anything about that problem, it will decelerate, or it will de-escalate in your mind and your brain, your emotions. It'll just actually all start going away, because it needs fuel to burn. The conundrum here in the West, and I love that word, conundrum. the issue here in the West is we feed fuel to the wrong places. You know, just take a look at politics now. You've got, one side that thinks assassination, killing someone that, Charlie Kirk, Trump, whoever, is a way to get your point across. You got another side that's willing to lay down and be treated like that. And that's a problem, because eventually one side will do something that triggers the other, and that's when things get nasty. It's not necessary, because there's no politician that can destroy your happiness. None, unless you give him the power. Biden didn't destroy mine, and I thought the guy was a complete joke. Clinton didn't destroy mine, and he was a pervert and a rapist. Bush didn't destroy mine, and he was just a daddy's boy. Bush the first. None of them destroyed my life. They don't matter. The orange man doesn't matter. In 2 years, he'll be gone. He'll be gone, and you won't know anything about him. Biden's gone. No one gives a shit about him now. He's just another joke. Bush is gone. All these guys are gone. They don't matter. Get out of the mind that the only thing that lights you up is being angry at something. And that's why people love politics right now, because it gives them energy. It takes people with empty lives and gives them energy out of hatred. And that's what it is. That's an empty life. You see someone that hates in politics, that's an empty, broken human being. Most of the time they're single. Most of the time they're physically unhealthy. They're broken microbiome. Most of the time, and I'd say when people are heavily invested in the violence and anger, they are 100% mentally ill. They are mentally ill. We call them ratards. from the movie Hangover, and he was a retard. One of my favorite lines from Zach Galifianakis. Rain Man almost broke a casino, and he was a retard. I don't care if that word offends you. I don't give a shit. You deserve to have a fulfilled life, but you got to work for it. No one can hand you that. And if your fulfillment comes from you putting a mask on and going and raging politically at someone you disagree with, you're pretty broken. That's the definition of empty, just saying. So be careful where you put your passions. The thing about those interesting, talking to people that are vehemently hateful in politics, the people I know that are extremely far on the left and extremely hateful, they're almost always single. Isn't that interesting? They can't maintain a relationship. Why? Because no one wants long-term hatred. No one is interested in having hatred over time. And if you think that your life sucks, and it's some president, it's Trump's, Bush's, Biden's, Reagan's, Obama's, any of their faults, you have a problem. I'm just saying, if you think that's who's controlling your world, you have a problem. Disagree with them all you want. I agree with Trump 100% on trans kids. Leave the kids the fuck alone. We went to coffee the other morning with Mitt, my buddy Mitt, and some guy's wearing a "Don't Mess with Texas" looking t-shirt that says "Don't mess with trans kids." I find that as just a pedophile out looking to groom kids. That's to me that, and I wanted to say something so bad. I'm like, you know what? If you do say something, you become one of those people that hate because of politics. He was not worth my time, but knowing that people like that are out there that want kids to be sexualized, that's their goal, is to sexualize children. That's what that is. I'm sorry, it just is. And I'm not sorry, actually. Fuck that. That'll get me some anger, but I don't care. Back to fun stuff. Decency is a key to long-term love. You've got to be a decent human being. If you're broken, if you're alcohol-addled, if you're addicted to something, if you're addicted to hate, porn, whatever, you will be lonely. And you're probably addicted because you're lonely now. Addiction is a byproduct of emptiness, because when you have empty, something has to rush in there to fill. You don't have a choice. It's going to do it. It's just going to fill itself up. It's going to take snippets and go, this is what fills us up. Oh, hate, energy. Oh, yeah, energy. I hate this guy. Oh, and you think about that. When you go all of a sudden from kind of bored to hate, your energy level goes up. Your serotonin, dopamine, everything just ramps up. All the endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and there's one other one. I don't know. I gave her EDSO. It's called EDSO. But those feel-good hormones ramp up out of hate. Not for healthy people, they don't. Hate is not someplace healthy people want to go. We don't like being there. But for mentally and physically broken people that are unhealthy in their psychology and their physical body, which, by the way, always go together, hate is a great aphrodisiac. It turns them on. It's like sex to them, because odds are they're not having sex. When you hate that much, you have an unhealthy sex life. Just saying. There's a definite disconnect between sexuality and people that hate out of hate, and it just is. And I can go back and prove that to you, but it's going to be unpopular because it involves discussing. Yeah, never mind. So it rushes in, hate rushes in and fills that void. And when you see these people, understand all of them are lonely, broken, sexually deviant in some way. I guarantee they're addicted to something sexually deviant because they don't have an ability to function on a normal level. That's what creates hatred. Because people are not built to be hateful. They're built to be scared. Let's just say that. We are built and wired to be afraid because we had to be afraid of saber-toothed tigers at one time. You're wired to have fear. Did you know that? You are wired to be afraid because if you walked out of the cave and you didn't care what was out there, you would get eaten. That's why men were the first ones to go out and make sure things were safe and take care of the family, and women were inside nurturing and protecting the children in the cave. And I don't care if you agree with that or disagree, that's a fact. And you had to be afraid when you function. Our brains are not wired in any way to make us happy. Our brains are wired to keep us alive. That's it. They're wired to create fear. And here's the thing. If there's not fear out there, our brains will just make it. It will just say, oh, we don't have any fear. Let's create some. That's why we create stories in our brain. That's why when we go back and relive memories are always enhanced in one way or another. Our brains put enhancements in there. It's fascinating. So yeah, I've been prattling on for 10 minutes now. This is a long video. If I said something that offends you, tough. No one in the world, the arrogance of someone that believes the world should bend itself so it doesn't offend you, I mean, up yours. Yes, that's just an arrogant little prick, is all it is. How dare you offend me? I don't give a shit. Be offended. That t-shirt that guy wore offended me, but it's not my business. He can wear what he wants. He can go in there naked. And, well, not that, but he probably would, that kind of people, I'm sure. It's not my business. If something offends me, good. I love being offended because it makes me have to think. Am I offended because I've thought this through and looked at both sides of an issue? Or I'm offended because that's rightfully offensive? Anyone trying to trans kids is rightfully offensive. Leave your fucking hands off our kids. Don't fucking touch them. I think grooming should be tried as a capital punishment. You should be killed if you're a groomer and found guilty of it. I think that's a capital punishable crime. Pedophilia should be punished by capital punishment. Should be a death sentence. Just saying. You destroy the life of a child, your life should end. That's how I think. And I always will think that. You go after the most innocent, the most clean, the most innocent in the world to fulfill your deviant needs. You need to be destroyed. Legally tried, on trial, not mobbed or anything, but legally tried, put on trial, and your life removed from you. That's how it should be. And it'll never happen because you've got too many people in government that we've got the Biden administration that didn't bother looking at Epstein at all. But Trump's now looking at it, but Trump's the bad guy. I'm like, it's so weird. Obama was in there 8 years, Biden was in there 4 years, and Trump's the one that's not looking at Epstein. It's funny. Yeah, again, deluded hatred. They will find a way to hate Trump no matter what. I know people that find a way to hate Biden, even though Biden wasn't doing anything. He was a useful idiot. Obama, I hated Obama, but not for any reason I can put my head. But I did love the guy, how he treated his wife. And now all I think is his wife's a man. Who gives a shit? I don't care about that. All those rumors and garbage. He didn't cheat, and he wasn't a Clinton. He treated his wife with honor. I don't care what you think of Obama's politics, the fact that he's somehow linked to Islam, which I think Islam is the evil in the world right now. He honored his wife. And I think he honored his daughter. All they've turned into little millionaire messes like Bill Clinton's daughter. You know, Bill Clinton's daughter got $82 million of taxpayer money. $82 million. You want to talk about injustice? You pay your IRS taxes this year, and remember, Chelsea Clinton got $82 million of your money. Okay, Obama's little girl had a multi-million-dollar birthday party thrown where they put Johnny Depp on a private jumbo jet from England over to DC, and then built the White House, part of the White House, into Fantasyland so he could be the Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland. Your tax. Now, when you pay your taxes, remember, a multi-million-dollar birthday party and a jumbo jet ride for a Hollywood superstar to come take care of Obama's little girl's birthday. You think there's sickness out there? Oh my gosh, we are being duped and used in ways that just... And I know one side's like, oh, it's all the Republicans, it's all the Democrats. Those are just two Democrat things. But I'm sure there's Republicans abusing it too. And now they hate Trump because he's stopping it. He's turning off the faucets. So, as it should have been. I was screwed by the IRS the last 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just without... and they even admitted they screwed up. They sent me $1,400 back. We made a mistake. Here's $1,400. They had no problem with the hundreds of thousands they took illegally, but IRS is a different set of laws. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but focus on the right things. I don't care that Trump's president. I don't care that Obama was, or Biden was, or Biden's auto pen was. I don't give a shit. I don't care who gets elected next time. I'll vote and have my vote not count, which it usually doesn't, because it's washed out by fraudulent votes now, because there's no voter ID like California's fraudulent voter. We don't want IDs. Go buy a gun. You can't. You have to have an ID. Go buy alcohol. Got to have an ID. But you can vote without one. You can be a dead guy, illegal, whatever. So It's funny, California, it's sad because I love Disneyland, and I don't know if I'll ever go back. So, look, I love you. I've been prattling on now for 15 minutes. I wanted to just start doing this where I could chop things up and make a lot of content quickly. We'll see how that works out. Have a great day. Bye.